All right, next we'll do the bird's eye view. So looking down, this one seems like it's a little bit more complicated, but I think once you get the hang of it, it really isn't. Okay, so I'm going to just draw my horizon line. And I draw it pretty high up on my page because I want right bottom space to be filled with this building. So my horizon line is going to be up a little bit higher than it normally would be. It's maybe in like the top quarter of your paper. Okay. So I'm going to do the same things as before. I have my vanishing point 1, my vanishing points 2, and then this time, instead of it being above the horizon line, it's going to be way below the horizon line. So I put mine pretty far down because I want to give myself lots of space to make a building. And that's my vanishing point 3. Then again, same process as before, you make your one vertical line, right? This is the only vertical line you're going to make. The rest will be diagonal. Okay, then I pick the corners for the top part of my building. Top part is here. Bottom corner down here. Okay, have them picked out. I've given myself plenty of space while still giving myself space above or between the horizon line and the top corner of my building. Because as you can see here, there's all this little space left over for where the roof is. So there's still like a decent margin between my horizon line and the top portion of my building. So keep that in mind and give yourself like an inch or two to work with. And then I will just start to make my vanishing point 3 diagonal lines. Same process as before. You want to try to make the diagonal line the same angle on both sides, depending on what you're trying to convey. It's quite there. Cool. All right, they're pretty even. They're pretty evil also. If this is new to you, this might be intimidating as fuck. So I want to go slow and make it pretty dang clear. Okay. So doesn't matter if we start up at the top or if we start down at the bottom. I think I'll start at the bottom just to keep it consistent with the last video. So I'm going to connect my bottom corner, right? Bottom corner to my vanishing point 1. And my bottom corner connecting to vanishing point 2. All right. Now I've created the bottom portion of my building, the base. Okay, and then the top corner, I connect it back to vanishing point 1 and vanishing point 2. Just like that. I made a V and a V. Okay, now I have my diagonal lines that I already put in from vanishing point 3 have created the side walls for my building. And these connecting points have created the frontmost portion of the roof for the building. Now I just need to create this part, the roof, where I'm putting my pool. Okay, and the way to do that, this part's going to be the part that's a little bit tricky. It should seem really similar to working with the 2-point perspective. You're going to connect this corner where we've united the corners and the vanishing points right here where it's all coming together. Your diagonal line, your diagonal line going in, diagonal line going down, and then this diagonal line going that way. Where they all converge is at that point. You can see it on your paper. Okay, once you see it, you're gonna put your ruler there, and you're gonna put the other part of your ruler back up here by vanishing point 1, and you're going to just draw that line in. Okay, now we've made the back side of the roof. We have one more line to connect. It's gonna be the same story over here. Okay, where all these lines intersect, your diagonal, your vertical, going across, going down. They're all converging at this point, and you're just going to take that point with your ruler and connect it back to that point and draw. Okay, and there you have it. You can trace that. And then you can do the same thing where you're adding details for this. You can just connect this vanishing point 1 to vanishing point 3's vertical line. Don't cross over into this section of the building, right? That wouldn't make any sense. So you'll just stop here, right down the middle. I know this is kind of tedious, you guys, but this is gonna like train your brain on how to see things in perspective. That's gonna really shape how you draw from here on out. Okay. Thinking over here. I'm just stopping before I'm not connecting all the way back to vanishing point 2, because otherwise I'll just have to go back in and erase it anyway. So you guys can do the same thing if you just keep your ruler aligned with vanishing point 2 or vanishing point 1 or vanishing point 3. But if you're new to this and you're like, no, I really want those guides to make sure I'm doing it all the way, go on and do it. Okay, and I kind of did this the janky way where I didn't measure it closely enough. So I'm gonna try to tighten my lines in the space between them to get a little closer together. Right, because it's supposed to be bigger at the top, tighter at the bottom. Okay, and then to create your guides coming from vanishing point 3, you'll just go vanishing point 3 and let your ruler be at a diagonal angle. So it's not directly on top of this guideline, it's just a little bit further out, but still connecting back. And just make marks. Okay, same going this way. I'm just moving my ruler a teeny bit further every time. So I'm still making sure it always connects back to that vanishing point. Okay, cool. Now I've created all of these lovely guidelines. And just like before, I can start filling them in if I want windows. I can maybe use them as guides for lettering, like if I wanted it to say, oh, I don't know, like Trump Tower, and then I could light the whole thing on fire. Yeah, nice. Okay, all you got to do, have fun.